Well, boys, it seems like it only took 42 days, but hey, the hero inventory roster and inventory in general is finally getting increased, so now I can stop making these incredibly obnoxious fucking thumbnails. So, either way, now we're going into a team which is the oh-so-wonderful Jenua, Sea Phantom Politis, and Ambitious Tywin. Now, the team in which I decided to go with seems to work pretty goddamn well, and that's going to be Dragon Bride Senya, Dragon King Sharun, and then also Immortal Wukong. The way in which this works is, basically, you're getting cleaved, and with that cleave, you're going to do anything you possibly can to kind of defend against it. So, opening turn, Sea Phantom Politis goes, and then in this particular situation, Jenua went after the Ambitious Tywin. They were actually very close in speed, but Ambitious Tywin goes, does his stun bullshit, because it is 100, it's ignoring effect resist, so you're basically dealing with like an 85% proc chance of it even happening. So, hey, there is still some RNG involved if you want to get Cascade, but because of that, we have Death Break on us, which kind of sucks, but we also happen to get Stun on us. This results in Cascade from the Dragon King Sharun. We'll then go on Immortal Wukong, do stuns onto the Jenua, and then eventually you'll just straight up cleave the whole fucking team with Dragon King Sharun's S3, and then you kind of just clean up accordingly. Now, into another team that I really wasn't having a lot of good ideas on how to fight this team, because I remember in the past I fought this shit with Aria before, but like, honest to God, if I'm just going into like some effectiveness monsters, like, straight up, I've been hit by shit with my Sinful Angelica, which is like 220 ER with Bastion, and I've been silenced before, so this straight up isn't like a Zeo that's on insane amounts of effectiveness. So like, if it was, I think I could have possibly been fucked, but like, I just don't know. Like, I almost never fight Blooming Lidica, and Blooming Lidica is so fucking inconsistent when it comes to the damage that she deals. Like, she straight up went into my Aria. She should be fast. My Aria is not really that fast, and she still did, like, fuck all for damage. Yeah, I understand that whenever your team has more debuffs on you, she gains more speed. The more speed she has, the more penetration rate that she can then go into your unit. But even with that, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what's, like, super consistent here. But one thing I could have tried, and I straight up just didn't even think about it because of the first team where I had to use Immortal Wukong, probably could have tried Immortal Wukong just to see how safe he is because of his death penetration. But either way, hey, you set up the counter shenanigans on Aria, and you pretty much just killed him. Now, into this oh-so-wonderful fun team. Now, before any of you tell me anything that's special about this, yes, I know what happens. Yes, I do get cleaved like a bitch. So basically what's happening here is, the plan was, okay, we're going to sack Midnight Gala Lilias because, you know, Sea Phantom Politis is going to strip, and then Jenua's going to kill her, and then basically you're going to wrap around, get your turn, go on your Spirit Eye Celine, activate your Immortality, also bring units back, and then you also have Blood Aura on Haste, and then you'll kill accordingly whenever you get the opportunity to. Unfortunately, that did not fucking happen because I completely forgot that Dragon Bride Sharun, or no, not Dragon, wow, I'm all kinds of fucked up today, but yeah, Dragon Bride Senya pushes up the person in the back row with her S3. So because of that, yeah, they kind of lapped me and they fucking killed me. Could have easily worked if I just had things like, oh wow, I'm all kinds of fucked up this morning. I can't remember a lot of these artifacts. But yeah, the one where you get hit on your Soul Weaver, you'll CR boost up. And then also, if I just happen to have another one of Celine's artifacts for Spirit Eye Celine, it would have worked out, we would have been fine. But either way, like right here, we're basically going into the one threat, which is Abyssal Yufine. Abyssal Yufine, we just straight up kill it because we have, death-piercing shenanigans. We do enough damage, we kill it. And now all you have left is just a whole bunch of units that are primed and ready for the for the meat grinder that is Jenua and Sea Phantom Politis. What a fair fucking character. No, not Jenua. I mean Sea Phantom Politis. That character is dumb as shit. But the reason why this works, Sinful Angelica is there. We prevent any and all revival shenanigans from happening, which didn't even matter. She didn't have Holy Sack. And you just kind of kill. Now, on to the last one. Boy, we're all kinds of going through this shit super fast, and I straight up am not even talking right. Guess this goes to show where, like, hey, I took too long on a break, and I'm fucking rusty. But either way, like, the only actual risk of going into this team right here, because this is a full-on light team, it's Unbound Knight Arowell, Spirit Eye Celine, and then also a Navy Captain Landy. The only actual threat that you really have to deal with here is figuring out who you're going to attack first. So the goal is Oxlots is going to go first. Hopefully you don't get outsped by a really fast Spirit Eye Celine, and then you just make your Arunka go, and then you just kill a unit. Now the two units that you have in mind are Unbound Knight Arowell and Navy Captain Landy. If you are extremely confident in your damage, or you have like an attack-based boot, you can just go into the Navy Captain Landy, and then straight up, a whole bunch of shit just straight up stops working for this team. And if you kill her, yeah, you're good to go. And of course, because Arunka is S3 extincts, hey, now they ain't coming back. Then you just straight up go into the Unbound Knight Arowell, kill that as well. And then right here is where it's still not a good idea to soul burn right there, because you can't guarantee you're going to actually land a bleed debuff. But we happen to land it, we get the extra attack, bam, her turn comes, bleed procs, kills her. Now, on to probably the most boring match of the entire event, which is, oh, it's the last one! Joy howdy! But either way, it's just a typical Senya's shoe setup. Like, that's all it is. And for whatever reason, Moon Bunny's there. I do not understand why Moon Bunny on defense is even here with this team, because the only synergy that she even provides is going to be with Senya, because then this way, oh, you have a Gab that's on the Senya because she's on her EE for Gab, and then occasionally, like, I guess Moon Bunny's gonna be able to refresh that attack buff, give you some more, like, Gabs for, like, 2 extra turns here and there, but honest to God, it's just straight up not fucking worth it. Especially because, like, whenever it comes to a third wheel to the Senya Shu team, I firmly believe that Conqueror Lilias is probably the best option, just because of all the extra, like, you know, dual attacks you're gonna be getting. And if you want the best possible candidate, it's really Luna, no, not Luna, wow. Lua, in my honest opinion, but, like, I don't really see Lua Senya shoes anymore, and I think a very big part of that is this very setup that I'm using, because anytime I go into a Lua Senya shoe, I just straight up rock Roana, Shadow Knight Pilis, and because my Shadow Knight Pilis is on effect resist, and then also Silvertide Christy, throw all 3 of those units together, and bam, you just hit the auto button, and then you eventually win. But here, because we're not dealing with Lua, and we're not dealing with cooldown reduction shenanigans, basically, we're just straight up going into the Senya until we have access to Laia's S3. Why? Well, because when we have access to Laia's S3, that is a free delete button for all 3 of these fucking characters. Basically, the Senya doesn't have enough HP, or just the fact that we have Rocket Punch on our Shadow Knight Pilis, we just straight up do additional damage that's going to be going into these units. Everything feels good, because like, hey, oh no, she's got a barrier. Well, we have Soul Burn, baby. Look at this damage. Fucking fair and balanced. And oh no, it procced the, like, the effects of Moon Bunny. Now they have Skill Null and immunity. Big fucking deal. It's really not a problem. Because, like, Moon Bunny doesn't really provide enough heals to this team to really be useful, and the attack buff, like I said before, is only effective for Senya, and it's really not even that great. But hey, now that we've killed one of them, all we have to do is just go into the Moon Bunny. We'll use this time to actually go into the Moon Bunny with Shadow Knight Pilis, because Shadow Knight Pilis has Rocket Punch. It's eventually going to just result in a death very quickly, while we're turn cycling to get our cooldown up for Laia, which, thankfully for us, because we got the kill on Senya, we got an extra turn, that gives us even more cooldown reduction. Now, we can just straight up go into the shoe. This is element advantage, so we deal even more damage to the bitch, and you do 28,000. Fair and balanced. Okay. So that's the end of the Guild War, and it's honestly kind of mid. I wish I gave you a better performance on that one in particular where I got cleaved like a bitch. But hey, we'll figure that out whenever we fight that team yet again, because I kind of feel like the Dragon Bride Senya, Jenua, and like Sea Phantom Politis defense is probably going to be the most annoying shit, because anytime I see people going up against that, they're usually sacking a lot of fucking units. I'll figure it out whenever I see more things to go into it. But in other news, boys, it's the 4th of July. Know what that means? No, it's not not Independence Day. That means New Moon Luna came out. Do I care? Not fucking really. Now, the reason why I don't really care is because she's one of those units where it's like, hey, lol, build fuck loads of speed, and then have also, like, HP and effectiveness as, like, your other, like, dump stats. And like, hey, I have her. I'll try to see if I can make her useful for Friday, and I'll see if I can actually use her for Guild War. But like, I don't know, man. I don't really have a lot of confidence that I'll be able to. You guys know my playstyle. I don't fucking roll speed. It just straight up doesn't fucking happen. Like, I think my fastest unit, just throwing shit together, is like Ran at like 300 speed, but it's a fake Ran. And it's just like, this is miserable. But in other news, aside from New Moon Luna coming out, and I really don't know if she's good or not, currently friendship farming her right now, we'll see if she's going to work for Friday. But yeah, Zenless Zone Zero also came out, and I tried it. Guess what, boys? It's not Wuthering Waves. And when I say that, I mean, like, hey, the opening, like, launch day of Wuthering Waves was a fucking miserable shit show. ZZZ was actually kind of fun in the 3 to 4 hours that I spent with it. The design looks good, and I feel like I'm not playing some Chinese bullshit in terms of art design. But either way, go ahead and feel free to give that a try if you want. I actually think it's pretty fun. But hey, now that we're at the end, if you guys like this video, go ahead and leave a like. If you want to see more of my content, hit subscribe.